Right, everybody, this is Randy's Trucking Life, Road Life, Truck Driver Life. I am about to set the record straight. I'm going to bring you guys math and facts dealing with the one and only Western Flyer Express. All right, now I'm going to clear some things up before I get into the details. Now, I applied to Western Flyer and they accepted me and I went down there. Spent my own money. I mean, they gave me a rental car, which was great. And I jumped out of a truck from Roadrunner and went down there. Okay. And but I spent my money in fuel and stuff like that, which they did not reimburse me for. And they had about 30 of us in orientation to kick me out because they said I had a preventable accident on my MVR. Now, let me set the record straight. My MVR is perfect. There's nothing on my MVR, all right? I know that from HMD and from Select One because I have copies of those. Now, and they said, well, you can't be here. But really, what it came down to, I caught a bait and switch while I was there. And if you go to the website, you know, they advertise Kenworths, Internationals, Freightliners, Volvos, things like that. So, let me tell you that you will not get a brand new Kenworth there. The Kenworths are pretty much old. They got something like 100 and some thousand miles on them, which is not old for a truck. But the fact is, you can't get a brand new Kenworth. That's a false advertisement. Okay, you can get pretty much a brand new Freightliner or International if you want those trash cans. I think the brand new Freightliner is actually pretty decent. W900s are only for those who have 3 years of verifiable reefer experience. All right, a W9 in this company will almost bankrupt you. Okay, unless you're just running 4,000 miles a week, but in this company you can't do that. So, not running reefer anyways. So here we go. Right now, after all this is done, I don't have a lot of ill will towards Western Flyer Express. Okay. They allowed me to keep my property there till I came and picked it up, which I did, in which they still had nothing. Nothing was missing that I'm aware of, which is great. They helped. One of the guys helped me put it in my truck, which was cool. He followed me everywhere. I guess they were really leery about me talking to other drivers that were there because they said I had 10 minutes to get my stuff and get out. You know, well, they were really upset that I actually brought another truck in there because it was not from their company, and they were kind of upset about that. But no one told me otherwise. I had texted them. Name was Dylan Keister. All right, Dylan Keister. He's the head of the lease department there, or something like that. And he was the one that put my stuff up, and he gave me his card to notify him when I was coming, and I did. Never responded back to me. So I called and let them know I was coming in. They said they would call me, give me instructions, which they never did. So I just went there, okay? But I got my stuff and all that, and so all that's resolved. So I have no ill will towards Western Flyer Express, and I'm not trying to trash them. What I need truck drivers to understand is when you go to a company and they give you the details, don't be one of the rats following the Pied Piper. Don't be that rat. You know, don't let them like, oh, we're the greatest company ever. We are expanding, not filling turnover rate. Part of that is true. They're expanding. Part of that is true. But I'm going to tell you how they're expanding because it makes the most sense in the world. Right? Now, here we go. Western Flyer Express, this is what's going to happen with you. You're going to get there, they're going to give you paperwork, stuff like that, you're going to do your road test. You're going to go out and pick a truck. Right? You're going to go to the maintenance building or whatever, and you're going to tell them what type of truck you want. International, Freightliner, Kenworth, and a Volvo, and a W9 if you qualify. And they're going to come and ask you if you do have that 3 years experience. Hey, do you want a W9? Right? No, they'll put you in one. So anyways, you can only get a Volvo. They don't advertise this, not unless they just changed it recently. They don't give you a Volvo unless you're 18. They got Very nice Volvo 860s there, but you cannot have one unless you are a team, part of a team, or unless maybe you have them match you up with someone else. I don't know if that's possible, if they do that or not. They might try it, but they'll give you a brand new Freightliner, brand new International, whatever. That's all good. They put DirecTV in it and all this other stuff. They got ECUs, APUs, you know, and all that. All that's cool. You know, automatics or manuals. That's great. But man, that's where the ambiance ends. If you do your math, if you're not one of those drivers who falls in line, you know, with the ambiance of what you're looking at. Because like me, I fall in love with my trucks. I love semi trucks. I love them. I don't care how many 579s I come across. I like looking at them because you never know what you're gonna find in a 579 or Kenworth. They're not all the same, right? Because I mean, they got so many different types of options and custom things that they can add to the trucks. It's pretty slick. My favorite truck is a Kenworth because I think the interior, the layout, and the styling is just more attractive to me. Okay, now I'm in a 579, as you guys can see the split bunk right here and all that good stuff. But I would much rather it be in a T680 because this lacks so much storage room. But back to what I was talking about, Western Flyer Express lease program, 23 cents a mile for your truck deduction. Okay, this is not including insurance, bobtail insurance, and all those other deductions, plates, and all those other deductions that you have, right? 23 cents a mile. Western Flyer Express requires you to drive 3,000 miles a week, which is great. That's fabulous. All right, love that. 3,000 miles a week. Now you're going to pay for that truck. Now, say you take Christmas, Thanksgiving, and a vacation off at some point in the year. They're going to charge you $145, but you still have all the other deductions, you know, just not the big truck deduction. Okay, so let's go over that. All right. In 1 year, in truck deductions. Now, let's say, for example, you get, because say you're one of those savvy drivers that once you find out how their lease program is ran, you might think, hey, I want an older truck. Because in order to pay off that truck, the odometer in that truck has to hit 850,000 miles. Not you drive it that much, the odometer, right? If you get a brand new truck, you're going to be in that truck for 7 years to 8 years, depending on how much you drive. Put 120,000 miles in that truck here, or 100,000 miles in that truck. You're going to be in that truck for years before you pay it off. Okay? Say you go there and you're savvy, like, oh, wow, okay, it goes by the odometer. Well, I want the oldest truck you got. Bam, there's a truck with 500,000 miles on it. All you got to do is put 350,000 miles on it, and it's yours. So you can do that in 3 years. Okay? You're still going to pay the same on that truck as a guy who gets a brand new truck per week and per year. But yours will be paid off sooner than the guy with the brand new one. Okay? So, let's do some math, shall we? I already did it. Okay, the truck per year is going to be about $34,000 a year. So if you get that truck with 500,000 miles on it, you're going to pay in excess of about $100,000. Okay? So you're actually paying more than 2/3 of what the truck of. Well, how can I put this? Okay, a truck with 500,000 miles on it is probably at least 4 years old, right? So you might end up with like a 2016, 2015 or whatever, right? They're charging you more than $100,000 for that truck. Do you think it's worth $100,000? A truck with 500,000 miles on it? No. If you go on any of these websites that are leasing, selling trucks on a 2015, 2016, none of them, no Freightliner, no International, no Kenworth, no Peterbilt. Well, let's say Kenworth here, at Western Flyer Express is worth $100,000 or more. None of them. Okay, it's my girl coming in. Anyways, none of them. You go to Palmer Kenworth in Indianapolis, Indiana, and get a Kenworth 2015 for $36,000. Lone Mountain 2016 Peterbilt, $3,500 down, $1,185 a month. That's not even $300 a week. Okay? Sully Financial 2016 2015 KWs, $3,800 down, low payments. They're only 35 to 40 grand for the truck. So Western Flyer is jacking the price up on you so high, okay? So let's say you want a brand new truck. Let's do the math. 7 years at $34,000. You're paying more than the truck is worth. $34,000 in 7 years. Okay? You're paying about $230,000. You're paying an additional $80,000 for that truck. All right? Do you think that is fair? Okay. Let's go farther than that. Let's go to their so-called warranty program. All right? The majority of companies who do lease purchase programs have a maintenance escrow, right? It's your money. They put it in there out of your settlements and it builds. It's your money. All right? You spend it anytime you want. Any maintenance shop to get stuff done to your truck. All right? All you got to do is call me and say, hey, I'm here. I need this, this, and that. Boom. They approve it. Take it out of your maintenance fund. Correct? It's yours. However, at Western Flyer Express, you do not have a maintenance fund or maintenance escrow. Here's how this works. You're going to pay 12 cents a mile every mile that truck runs. So, using the same amount of weeks, I said 49 because of holidays and and maybe a week off. Right? The truck doesn't move. Averaging 3,000 miles a week. In a year, you will pay $17,640. At least. Now, you're going to get a PM done, let's say, every 2 months. All right? You're going to PM your truck every 2 months. Preventive maintenance. All right, let's say $350 to $400. Right? So, that's only $2,400 a year. So they pocketed $1,500. They just pocketed $15,000 off of you. So say you do this, say you get a brand new truck, and you decide, hey, I'm going to stay with the Flyer for 7 years, and say you do, right? In 7 years, how much you think they made off of you in 7 years with $17,640 a year? Well, let's just say $15,000 a year. At 7 years. They done made $85,000 off of you. Okay? So, did you get, in 7 years, are you going to put $85,000 worth of repair or anything into your truck? No. No, it doesn't. No, who does that? Nobody does that. On top of that, you can't do anything you want to your truck as far as maintenance or anything else concerned, because their maintenance department will tell you no, because you do not have an account or an escrow. They call it a warranty, but you're paying for that warranty. Your own money is going out that warranty, but you cannot use it unless you have an engine failure, a tire blows, because they do cover the tires, your tri-pack or your ECU or whatever goes out, however that works, then they approve it. But if you want to get a chain rack, and I know this for a fact because I was talking to a driver today, he said he wanted to get a chain rack to hold his snow chains. And they told him no. Right? You had to put him under your bunk through the side door. Through your maintenance door. Okay? And he was very disgruntled about that. So you're paying them $85,000 if you have a brand new truck by the time the truck is paid off, maybe a little more. Even if you only pay the truck off in 3 years, right? It's still $45,000. Okay, so when Western Flyer Express said, "Oh, we don't have a high turnover rate; it's only like 60%," compared to like a U.S. Express, which is 200%, CR England, which is 190%, and some other companies, which is outrageous. Celadon just went out of business. Okay, so they got all those destitute drivers now and other employees that used to work there that are no longer employed. So, what is happening is this company is expanding because of your money, not because they're delivering loads like crazy. No, because you're paying them. They're getting rich off the driver. Thousands and thousands of dollars every week from the driver. I mean, who's supposed to be making the money here? Where's the money for your maintenance escrow really going? I mean, let's ask the questions. How many titles have they handed out since they started this program per year? How many titles do you hand out per year? Ask that. Couldn't answer that question. Ask them how many titles they handed out. How many truck titles? Yeah. You want a W900? Yeah. If you got the 3 years reefer experience, they'll definitely put you in one. But you're gonna pay that five and a half miles a gallon in fuel. They have a pretty decent fuel card discount. The highest being that Pilot and Flying J. Okay. But look, man, that W900 is gonna, you're talking $1,500-$1,800 a week, if you don't manage your fuel properly, if you don't be greedy and very conservative about where you're fueling at. You gotta be very, very careful. All right. And now let's explain something. You can't afford to turn down any dispatch loads because they're not just giving you like, hey, here's a bunch of loads. Which one do you want? No, they send you a load. Boop, there you go. So ask the questions. Be conscious. Be inquisitive. How many titles do you hand out a year? To who? I want to talk to him. Can I talk to so-and-so who you handed a title out to? How about a driver you're not all buddy-buddy with that got his? Because you don't know. They might give you a number or name of a driver that is a driver/recruiter. That he's not going to say anything, objective. Not just negative. Let's leave the negativity out of it. It's about talking to objective drivers. All right. Now, I had a very high opinion about this company before I tried to go there. All right. And then when all the math came out and I was like, oh, shoot, that is ridiculous. $150,000, $160,000 truck, and you're paying $240,000 for it? Who does that? Okay, So that's the truth of Western Flyers Express's lease purchase program and how they're going to be bending you over the deduction table. Okay, now you can call it what you want. People can get mad at me. Western Flyer can get mad at me. Whatever. But the math does not lie. I did the math. It's pretty clear now. I might be off a couple $100 here and there because it really depends on how many miles you run and how often you take off. You know, those are that's what makes the difference. So if you're a driver like me and you try to get that 3,500 in with them, you know, you're gonna be paying even more. Yeah, you actually pay the truck off sooner, but you'll pay more per week. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, what is it you're trying to do with this company? Because if you want a brand new truck, dude, you're going to be here for a long time trying to pay that truck off. The lease purchase programs on the majority of companies are not designed for you to buy the truck. They're designed for you to cover their overhead. So they don't have to buy the truck. Okay? You got companies like US Express. I did one of my first videos dealt with US Express. If you go all the way down to the bottom of my videos, you'll see it. You know, very few drivers ever purchase the truck. But you're covering the overhead of the company, which increases their capital in the long run, and in the short run, they make more money. You see what I'm saying? So it allows them to expand, to bring in more drivers, to bring in more trucks, and keep putting drivers in trucks, and they're paying for those trucks. And see, it's a revolving door. That's how that works. So be conscious of what you're doing. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. You know, so what? Who cares if who feelings get hurt? This is about your career. This is about you taking care of your family if you have one. This is about you taking care of yourself. That's what all this is about. So be inquisitive. Ask the questions. Don't be satisfied with a vague answer. All right? So with that, my name is Randy. I'm here to give you truth. I'm here not to trash nobody, but to tell you objectively what's going on. I want to share my experiences with you, and I want you to share your experiences with me. We need to consolidate this. Like and subscribe to these videos. Go on Facebook. Look up League of Professional Truck Drivers. That is the page I created for us, by us. Kind of like FUBU, right? It's a truck driver webpage. I'm not going to allow recruiters and all that stuff on there trying to get people. This is a page where you come and you share your knowledge and experiences. Post your videos, post your comments. You know, let me hear what you got to say. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a dialogue, right? Let's get all this stuff right. You know, I want us to be treated better. I want us to be treated fairly. I want us to be taken seriously. And I want trucking companies and recruiters and whoever who are dealing with us personally to take us very seriously. Because as truckers, we have a lot of power collectively. Because if we all decided to take a couple days off at the same time, this country would stop. You have California enacting laws that are very arbitrary and capricious against truck drivers. New Jersey's about to do the same thing. It's at AB 5. And there are truck drivers who are trying to do something about it. If we all decided, hey, we're not going to go to California for the next couple days, man, California would be sick. Because it's like the legislature in California hates truck drivers. But we are the backbone of a capitalistic society, of consumerism. We're the ones that fill the shelves. We get the products to where they need to go. And with that, I'm out this time. You guys have a good night. I'm about to go to take my butt to bed. I got to be on the road in the morning. Peace out.